Let me call the Navy up, and then United States Navy, please present final honors for Chief Martin.
Detail. Attention. One pace forward. March.
Please rise. Please be seated.
behalf of the President of the United States Navy, I give forth. Please accept this flag as a symbol of appreciation for your loved one's honorable faithful service.
Navy Chief Martin. Large, slow-moving target was the refrain. LST 446 with 114 crew on 9 knots cruising speed and a shallow draft, with Chief Martin's home from 1942 to 1945. LST 446 was slow, but she could take a lick. Dad held the Navy in high regard, but also did not let it define him. We used to often say 3 years, 6 months, 15 days. That is enough. Not necessarily out of ill will, but that was enough. He was able to reconnect with his shipmates much later in life and enjoyed the visits with his captain and fellow shipmates. Several children and grandchildren joined the Navy. He lent support, courage, but also did not push it. The Navy was a chapter, but as usual, he got his money's worth. Dad is one to always have a story, and the Navy gave him plenty of materials. Whether commandeering a case of whiskey in port and sneaking on from ship, working in the infamous engine room with diesel motors and keeping the ship moving regardless of events, riding out a typhoon as the ship was swept off course, or gaining entrance to the officers' bar and holding court on a nondescript island in the Pacific. The many stories made it seem like his tour in the Navy was an episode of McHale's Navy in real life. I only learned later that the reality of war was omitted in those stories, but lurked in the background. How could it not? What with the LST's involvement in assaults in Okinawa to Guam, to the ship being shelled and limping to report for repairs, to transporting Marines injured both physically and mentally, and hearing the Marines' sobering stories. I know that it was no easy task, and he understood the sacrifice, did not discuss it. Keep moving. He repeated to his 99 plus years of life. 3 years, 6 months, 15 days. I did my time, served the greater good, but I needed to move on. I try to put myself in his shoes when I was a 20-year-old, but find it difficult. Some of you are here today who have served, understand the courage and sacrifice it took to volunteer, particularly with no easy end in sight. I cannot think of a more regal and noble spot for the final resting place for Dad than the Punch Bowl. A port he first visited almost 83 years earlier on his way to an uncertain future. There were 7 more trips to Hawaii after his Navy service, the first of which was on Mom and Dad's 25th wedding anniversary. I remember that trip well because somehow Santa arrived 6 days earlier than usual. In addition, upon the trip, I received a gift of a wooden model outrigger canoe, which I thought was fabulous. After they returned, we heard stories of surfing run-em-up, luau's, long plane trips on a 747, Pioneer Hotel, the Princess Resort Golf Course, Mai Tais, and our first introduction to Hawaiian shirts. Yet another legend being born. Keep moving. So it is, I would like to thank U.S. Navy for establishing his final resting place, and I will finish with a poem. The Ship of Life. Along the shore, I spy a ship as she sets out to sea. She spreads her sails and sniffs the breeze and slips away from me. I watch her fading image shrink as she moves on and on. until at last she is just a speck. Then someone says, she's gone. Gone where? Gone only from out of our sight and our farewell cries. That ship will somehow reappear to other eager eyes. Beyond the dim horizon's rim resound the welcome drums, and while we're crying, there she goes, we're shouting, here she comes. We're built to cruise for but a while upon this trackless sea until one day we sail away into infinity. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I found this and I thought it really kind of encapsulated your parents. It's entitled Raise a Glass. I actually could send it to you because I thought it was pretty good. It says, do not mourn me. Don't drown me in black cloth and quiet whispers. Laugh loud, drink deep. Tell the stories that made me live. Remember the bad jokes. We always do, right? The nights that stretched into dawn, times we swore we'd never forget and don't. I was here, a life well lived. I want something more than tears, so raise a glass and dance a little. Let the wind take my name. I'll be listening. Do not mourn me. Celebrate.
So, cheers. Is it time still? Yeah. Can you play the music? As you know, Dad liked to, and Mom loved to dance. And so this is about Mom and Dad. And one of my biggest memories of sayings in my dad's head are people are more important than things. And so our son Alex is playing the song of one he liked to dance with, as you all remember, back tonight. And I found the end of his poem that said, the song was over, as the dance, one last kiss, one last chance to hold you close, to say goodbye, and turn away before we cry. My eyes I opened wet with tears, and on the radio I hear the song we danced to one last time when I was yours and you were mine. And we'll just keep the music going. Charlie, you said, you want to say something about Mom? I don't have anything written down, but you know, they taught us how to live in love. And they taught us how to be good kids, and they made us really strong women. And they taught us guys to appreciate stuff. And they were partners for life. And I haven't done that, but on the other hand, most of you have. But it's really a hard thing. And I know they went through the roller coaster of life, all of them, but they still hung in there. And it wasn't easy. And I know it wasn't easy for anybody here, but you do it because it's like we're taught by a perfect guy, you know. And Mom was always the stoic one. I can remember her making dinner and Dad working at nights, not knowing when Dad was going to get home or anything else like that. You know, and the only thing she had was a bunch of kids that she had to get round up and stuff like that, and a glass of really cheap Burgundy underneath the fridge, whatever it was, probably Jug Chianti or something like. It was underneath. I think it was underneath the sink, and she would like pour it on the side. But I said, "All right, everybody needs a little medicine to get through it." But yeah, let's not forget Mom. I know she wasn't in the war, but she was right there beside him and waiting for him. That's pretty impressive. You know. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? We're okay.
Well, I will say, and we recorded songs, but they're hard to hear. But anyway, we met the songs that we all agreed that after these up with our parents was Whack the Night that they always danced to at any celebration. Mom, when we go around the house, whenever we'd sing Pace Around the Old Doors
Oh, yeah.
song, whenever we asked her any question, why Mom, why did this happen? Pace Around, Sarah. And then Dad, he sang it so he learned it in the Navy, but historically what that project is, I got 6 months. My brother Barry, who couldn't be here, felt that represented his memory of Dad singing that song, I got 6 months. And then the last one was this one that I felt that I wanted them because they're here in this beautiful spot. That was one of their Catholics by, and they lived their Catholic faith from the time they were born until they passed away. On Eagle's Wings was a song that we played, but we'll play it down. My son didn't play it down.
Excellent. Well, again, on behalf of our team here at Huntsville, myself and veterans, as I tell my friends on the mainland, this is my office. Every day, I've been fortunate. I actually had volunteered for a couple of years in the office, and they said I was showing up all the time. They finally convinced me to go on the payroll. And if I wasn't doing this, we at the moment survived the cuts going on. But we do, in our roles here, it is what we call mission critical because, as we know, the resources put to veterans and this entire generation, unfortunately, we're doing it every day, and it's just shrinking. And it's an honor for us to be able to assist families in fails. So this concludes this portion of it. If I can get you guys, you said you're gonna walk